Yep, we're ready.
Okay. You are up, Krista.
All right, we're back up. So Bright Tomorrows is with us, Cassidy. So go ahead and introduce yourself, and the floor is yours for a couple minutes.
I am Cassidy Roski with Bright Tomorrows. I'm the executive director there. And I'm not sure, do you want me to go into Bright Tomorrows and what we do? I'm not sure
Just
if
real
everybody
briefly.
is familiar. Okay. We are the Child Advocacy Center in our area. And so when a child makes a disclosure of abuse, rather than having law enforcement or health and welfare talk to the kids in the principal's office or the police department, they come to our center that is child-friendly, we're trauma-informed. The interviewers talk to the kids, that we've had lots of training in that, and that way law enforcement and health and welfare can observe and focus on doing their part of the investigation, not having to worry about how they're asking questions to kiddos. They can focus on their jobs. So we do that piece. We also meet with the parents during that to give them support, resources, make sure that they have what they need to be the best support to their kids. And then we provide counseling services afterward to the kiddos to help them along the path of healing and as the investigation continues.
How many kids you help a year?
Last year I think our number was 259 forensic interviews. As far as counseling goes, say mid-20s. I'm in the middle of grant season and my head is swimming in numbers. So that's how many was last year. This year we were off to a really busy start, and then I don't know what happened in mid-April, but it's like slowed down, which always makes me worry, like who's talking to these kids, what's happening? But also it's been nice in that if law enforcement calls and says, hey, I got a report today, when can you get me in? I can usually say either today or tomorrow. So the wait time has been a lot better. So good and bad. Our main detective from Pocatello Police Department has been on vacation, and so when he comes back, there's always a big surge. I think they just give him cases as he's gone. So he just got back. We're anticipating the big boom.
Okay, questions?
This is one of my favorite groups to support. They do an amazing job. Cassidy and her staff. I mean, talk about a challenge. I'm grateful that we don't have to do it and somebody is willing to do that. A necessity that I'm sorry that it is a necessity. So thank you for all you do.
How many employees do you have?
So up until 2 weeks ago, we had 3 full-time, my office manager, an advocate, myself full-time, and then a part-time, my clinical director is part-time. But I just hired our 2 interns that were with us for the last 9 months, and so they will be doing counseling. One of them will be doing interviews, so we'll be up to that many, whatever that number is, to that many employees. And I'm so happy because our counseling services have really been struggling the past few years, just not having the capacity to serve kiddos. And having these interns now hired full-time, we can double our counseling numbers, if not triple, for this year. So I'm really excited about that.
That's great. Ken, you got anything?
Not really. Thank you for what you do. And that would be a shame to have a black eye.
I know.
I was trying to picture you with a big...
Oh, and I had to testify while I had it. It was a really great time in my life. I'm like, oh, dear me. Yeah, it was good luck.
Thank you.
And I will say that this is another group that relied on grants and have lost funding in grants.
So this year, just, it's been a different year. Our state organization has been working with a lobbyist to find state funding for child advocacy centers. And so they were able to push through a 1-year state allocation for $3 million for child advocacy centers. So July 1, we're looking at a giant boost. I'm working on the grant right now. We were told those funds would be unrestricted, and then as it came down to it, that's not accurate. So they're very specific to direct victim services, and there are lots of expenses they're not going to approve. And I'm like, how do I spend that much money on these few things that you'll allow us to spend? So unrestricted funding that we get from the commissioners, from United Ways, from those other sources are huge right now, because then I can do other things that we need to do that grant won't pay for. But that funding is going to be, I mean, it's double almost what we got last year. So now I've got to figure out how to, I don't want to hire a staff member for 1 year. they won't even be ready to like kind of do the job properly after that much time. But I don't know how else to do direct service funding, so that's my challenge. The grant's due tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to figure out today. So funding in that sense for direct services is amazing, but for all the other expenses is definitely a challenge.
And what was your request last year? Do you remember?
I believe that we received
11,500.
99.4.
5?
11.5. Oh, so that part includes the Bannock County Sheriff's Office, our facility fee. So all the law enforcement agencies pay us a facility fee to help us provide the USB drives and keep our recording equipment up to date, things like that for their investigations. So our check comes all in one with Bannock County's facilities fee and then the commissioner's support.
Okay. Any other thoughts or comments other than a huge thank you?
Thank you. Thanks for your support. Thanks for sharing Ernie with us. Love having him on our board.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
Center for Hope.
Yes. We have another individual that oh, there she is. How are you guys?
Good. How are you today?
Good. Thank you.
Hello,
Good to
stranger.
see all of you commissioners again. I know. Hi, stranger. Commissioner Bullock, Commissioner Chairman. So.
Well, go ahead
Thank you
and
for
introduce
having us.
yourselves for the record, and the floor will be yours.
Sure. So my name is Heather Moore. I'm co-owner and also a registered nurse. The company I have is with DeVere Hunt, who I am excusing today. He's out recovering from back surgery. And we hold the contract to operate the Center for Hope, which is the recovery center. Also, we operate the crisis center as well, which is co-located in the same facility at the city center.
So, how are things going?
Oh, did you want me, all of us in here?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, sorry. Good.
I'm April Crandall, and I'm on the Center for Hope Board. I'm a social worker also, and I'm operating as their CFO, contracted CFO for them currently this time. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Terry Harrelson, and I'm a certified peer recovery coach at the Center for Hope South.
Great. Thank you.
So things are going very well at the Center for Hope. We have been in operation for 2 years now. I think, as a reminder, we started the contract and took it over after Hope and Recovery, I think 2 years ago this midsummer. So a lot of exciting things have been happening with the Recovery Center. We have 2 outreach centers that expand from Center for Hope South is what we call it, because we also have a Center for Hope North, which is where everything began in Idaho Falls, and we have outreach in Soda Springs and also in American Falls and in Blackfoot as well. So other outreach areas we have are in Rexburg, Idaho, that is an extension of Center for Hope North. But things are going very well. We are here today to talk to you guys as commissioners about potentially utilizing the opioid funding that was, I think that may or may not still be out there for the county to utilize. We do feel like this is some funding that we have used very responsibly in other counties. We use this funding in Bingham County, in Madison County, and also in Caribou County. And we utilize this by getting recovery coaches out in the community to help with those individuals that are either trying to reach stability and or that are re-entering from the jail systems. And already in Bannock County, we work very closely, as you can see, with the Wood Court, the Family Court, and also with Drug Court. And we also work with the local county jail, where they call us and have recovery coaches meet these individuals so that they can help them, I guess, re-enter into the community. And that way it saves them from falling back into old habits and relationships that are poor. And Terry is our expert at that, and she could speak more as far as the specifics that they do. Meanwhile, I do have some papers that really have more simplistic terms as far as what we do, if you guys
Yeah, send them
would
on.
like. Okay. And I don't know if you
Do you
ladies
have one
would
more
like.
copy? I need one more for the record.
Yeah, well, here, we all have copies. And also, Michelle is also here too. She sits on our advisory board. So we're very grateful for what she does for us. So, and would you like Terry to kind of explain what they do as far as recovery coaches when it
go ahead.
comes to the court systems and also the jails?
Oh, there's so much. There really is so much because we are able to go into the prison up here, and we do go to the jails, and we are able to walk alongside the peers that are getting out, and that really helps because when you're getting out, you're scared, you're nervous. You do have people in your life that you could call that are not maybe good for you. And so we're able to model good recovery. And at the centers, we're able to create a safe place for people to come and do a resume, have meetings. We have meetings there. We have sober activities. We're able to connect to other agencies in the community and make sure and vet that their resources are good. And we're able to do that. And when we do that, when we're working with the peers, we're able to send them to those resource places to get clothing, food, housing, maybe therapy, maybe trauma therapy that they may be looking for. So we're able to do that in the work that we do because we're in recovery as well. And we get to show how it is to live your life sober, in recovery, and doing something better for yourself so that you benefit the community.
Thank you. And we really appreciate everything that Terry and also the other recovery coaches do. We have been trying to get in to help. Our goal is to really to touch as many people in the community that we can, right? We want to make sure nobody falls through the cracks. We want to make sure that reentry runs as smooth as possible. And I feel like our recovery coaches have been very successful as far as getting in touch with the right people. And something new from maybe the last time that we presented is we are working a little bit more closely with the sheriff as far as him utilizing our recovery coaches to meet these individuals as they're released, and that's been super helpful. We also have people that are qualified to be QPR trainers, and we offer that to the whole entire community. So it's a free service. By the way, everything that we do is a free service to the community, which is why we obviously like to chase grant funding and various funding to help us with our budget, which April could speak to as well. And I don't know if I mentioned in the beginning, but we are falling short a little bit on our budget, which is why we were thinking this could potentially help where we fall short with some of our funding. So needless to say, we do feel like we step it up every year as far as what we do for the community, and we want to. That's kind of what we do. That's our model across the board is we want to help those individuals. We want to be patient-centered. We also want to be county-centered. We want to be very responsible if we are awarded these funds. We want to use them wisely, which is why we try to bring as many professionals to the table to make sure that we are doing so. As far as the crisis center goes, just in the month of May alone, you'll see on this sheet, we've been able to collaborate with them on 45 different participants that might have a co-occurring diagnosis, not just a mental health diagnosis, but also a substance use disorder. And obviously those two go hand in hand. If we can have a recovery coach with them, along with the case manager, the medical staff in the center, and also a peer support worker potentially out in the community, their success rate is a lot higher than if they didn't have these people that would catch them when they're falling. We do see a lot of recidivism. We do see a lot of relapse in our communities, and I 100% support. There's evidence that backs it up as far as what recovery coach and peer support workers can do in the community with these individuals. So it's something that me as a nurse, I'm very passionate about. I love working with these guys. It's nice to know that no matter what, they're just hitting the ground and doing all the work that we ask them to do. And they're so passionate and giving and sharing their story that they, I think, want these individuals to have just as much success as the individuals do. Sometimes probably a little more than they want maybe, unfortunately. So, and April, I don't know if you have anything to say as far as the shortage. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to read the financials that we sent over. So.
Yes. Would you like? So the Center for Hope, and you might know this already, but it is a nonprofit and it's operated since 2016, and we brought on these other locations at the time, and we have that $22,000 deficit in our budget for this year. And we also strive to maintain operational reserves from year to year in case grant funding becomes short in years, and also in this very tenuous time, as we know, federal funds are well, they're in very much in flux right now. So it's really imperative I maintain their grants, and we're very fiscally responsible with our dollars. Every expense is receipted, and tracked within a budget line item so that we assure that every dollar is accounted for and utilized for the individuals that need these vital services. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't, I went through it though. Do you have any questions?
Not really. The thing that I guess that I like what you do is you're directly supporting county functions. We're talking about the jail. We're talking about the courts. We're talking about, what we also help support as well through, either through the District 6 or whatever it is. And I think that should be part of your message there too, is you are filling the gap that the county can't, unfortunately. We don't have the resources, or we don't have that, but it helps our hospitals, it helps our jails, it helps, there is an alternative track. And that's what I've always appreciated, and that's part of the reason why I engaged with a lot of this before is, as a county, we bear the brunt of the jails. We bear the brunt through our court system. We need help. And so I appreciate what you guys are doing in helping us help people, that can't help themselves, but are willing and whatever. So I applaud your efforts on that. So.
Thank you, I appreciate that, and appreciate all that you've done too. You and I sat on the committee to stand up crisis centers together, and I really appreciated your passion behind what you brought to the table as well.
And
that was continued with Commissioner Mosher too.
Yeah, there's not too many families in Bannock County that aren't affected by what you're dealing with. I know we deal with a lot of things, but between jails, between court systems, between drugs and people that don't know where to go, and unfortunately the county is holding the bottom line basket underneath all these people, and I'd rather see you guys deal with them on the treatment and get them out of that system than us just keep going back to Motel 6 out there on South Bannock Highway. So thank you.
This is something that's very important to us, besides just the human factor, that we're contributory to the utilization of government funds and the funds here that the county spends, and that it lessens that burden for the county, because a healthy county, healthy cities is a healthy community. And if we can help both the human factor and also that fiscal side, we will do whatever we can to do that.
Thank you. The other thing I wanted to mention is on the Exhibit A for the approved opioid abatement strategies. We did go through that and find that we at least cover under Section B, numbers 6, 7, and 12 as far as support of expanding peer recovery centers and that type of thing that is allowable for that funding. So I don't know if you guys have questions on that, but.
We'll probably never know the lives that you save from suicide or doing something foolish or whatever. We probably never can measure that.
It's very difficult.
But hopefully we throw a life preserver out there at the right time to the right person. So that's part of what I'm after, is somebody that helps us meet those goals.
Absolutely, appreciate that. Appreciate your
Anything else?
advocacy.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I assume no board meeting tomorrow?
Yes, there is. And so Devere
I
wanted
haven't-
me to apologize on
I
his
haven't got
behalf.
any
I was going to
information
talk
on
to
that.
Christy about it, and he said that he was supposed to take on the responsibility of forwarding the information. But I will do that as soon as I leave here. I just hung up with him too, and he
Okay.
apologizes for not being able to be here. He actually thought he could make it, but I think his family thought otherwise, because I
Tell
don't
him
think
to
he's
get
ready to
better.
get out of the house.
Tell him to
So,
get better.
we appreciate your patience while we are the ones that presented today.
You guys
so.
look a lot better than Devere anyway.
Well, thank you.
Well, it's a shorter meeting.
Yeah, he's been gone for a couple
Commissioner
weeks. My
Moser.
days are super short. So, but,
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
See you guys.
See ya.
Good to meet you all.